It's deadline day. Signings galore at Ipswich Town in January for once in a while. Welcome back, guys. So yeah, deadline day, finally. It's been a long January, but we've done most of our business at the start of the month. But you know, it's ins and outs all the time, and you know, with regards to players that came into this, you know, in the summer, we're seeing a lot more of them go now, and not actually play at all, and be replaced by players that Lambert's brought in himself. So let's have a look at that, you know, in some degree. Let's start with our signings. Let's try and start in chronological order. So I'm going through mine ahead here. I've got nothing in front of me. I'm just going to completely go off. So first signing of January was Callum Elder. Now Elder, left back from Leicester, on loan until the end of the season. Rough start to his career at Ipswich Town, and I think maybe a bit of a gamble to bring in that kind of player into the squad. I'm not really sure how Elder fits into our plans long term. We've got a very busy 3 months coming up now. You know, to even try and stay in the league, it is still physically possible. Whether that may happen or not is another thing. But Elder for me is not a better player than Miles Kenlock, and certainly not a better player than Jonas Knudsen. So at this moment in time, I think if we have got options to use, Miles Kenlock's the one that I would throw into the starting 11 now. He's had 2 chances to impress in front of that, and all in all, we did impress. But obviously, bringing in Elder, you're going to give him a bit of time to try and, you know, cement his place in the side. But I think that's up, and I think we may see Kenlock obviously start against Villa on Saturday, and we may see him again against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. But for me, yeah, bit of a perplexing sign at left back. But obviously we need to cover, given Jonas Knudsen doesn't know where he's going after all of that kerfuffle about him moving on from the club. Doesn't look like Jonas is actually going to get anyone to come in for him. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. But as far as we could say, Jonas Knudsen, you know, would I play him? I mean, if we were desperate, I'd say, you know, if we really needed to throw in someone that has basically denounced the shirt, then yeah, we'd have to do it. But I don't think we're in that position at the moment. Knudsen's quality on the ball has been questionable over the last few years, and he's nothing near the left backs that we have had previously. Haven't had Cresswell and Mings. He doesn't really compare to any of those. So yeah, in terms of left back, Kenlock to start and then Elder to follow, in my opinion. Second signing, I think, and I'll get this right, Will Keane. Now, Will Keane has surprised me because as a striker, you're expected to score goals. Now, for me, he does a lot more. He's more of a Daryl Murphy type player. He comes in and he does his best on the ball. He's very clinical on the ball. He can hold it up. He can pass it really well. And we saw he does have the ability to score. He scored a scrappy goal against Rotherham and got us the 3 points. You know, well deserved in my opinion. And you know, if it weren't for James Collins having such a good game that day, then Will Keane would have been my man of the match on that given day. But since then, he's had, you know, a bit of, we've been away from home a lot. So I think since he's come in, he's played 3 away and 1 at home. Obviously, he scored in the home game. So another big one is Sheffield Wednesday coming up on Saturday. Will he start? I don't know. I don't really know how it's going to work. But in terms of quality, Will Keane's definitely one that I would say was a good signing. Good signing. Colin Quaynor, number 3, I think, came in on loan from Huddersfield. Colin, what can I say about Big Colin? Right, he seemed to be a fan favourite before he even kicked the ball. Now, I'll be honest, even in Huddersfield's promotion season, Quaynor was a bit of an enigma for me. being so tall and playing on the wing primarily is questionable. But we really did. I think we really did see his quality when he broke away to get the ball into the middle for Sears' goal against Villa on Saturday, and obviously the time when he got into the box and it should have been a penalty, but that was him who made that, and that's the quality that Quaynard can deliver. In his first home game against Rotherham, he was very good at holding up the ball, and he bullied their back four at times in the first half. So yeah, I think we've got more to see from Quaynard. Is he a goal scorer? I don't think so. I don't think he's answer to our goal drought up front. But in terms of signing, yeah, I think he could be good. A permanent signing, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that one. But in terms of quality, yeah, I think he's got enough quality to deliver some balls into the box and get some goals. Right, so number 4, and I think off the top of my head, was Simon Dawkins. Now, a player I have heard of, he was ex-Spurs, and definitely he played in America. I think was it San Jose he played for. But yeah, as a winger, he came over to Derby when we were in the playoffs a few seasons ago, and played 30 odd games for Derby, and obviously he's got the quality to play in this division. But have we seen it yet? He made a substitute appearance against Rotherham, and to be fair, he made little or no impact in I think the 20 minutes, I think 10, 15, 20 minutes that he played. In terms of will he get fit, it's hard to say. Match fitness is completely different to fitness overall. Can he come in and deliver something? I don't know. I really don't know. And that's the thing. Here's another one. Can we see him coming into the squad? Potentially, but at this moment in time, there's a lot of players pushing for a space in the squad. In terms of giving, chances, we're in a really tough period, and Dawkins isn't one of those players that's going to benefit from Town being at the bottom of the league, because those kinds of players don't get many chances to perform. So, in terms of quality of signing, this one could go either way, but he's signed till the end of the season. Beyond that, I can't really see him staying unless there's absolute miracles happen. So, yeah. Now, who could forget the Welsh ginger Pele, James Collins? Now, I'm not going to lie here. When I saw we were linked with James Collins last season, I think it was, I thought, what are we doing here? James Collins. We've got to be looking for players with different pedigree, young players, hungry players that can come into our squad. And yeah, at the time, he didn't really fit the bill. Now, fast forward to the start of the season, he signs for Aston Villa, and he gets an injury, and instantly he rips up his 40,000 a week contract, just like that. Now, I had an argument in my mind that he was even capable of playing for Aston Villa, but I tell you what, great signing. What a shrewd signing. He's coming to the squad. Not only is he match fit, he's been playing out of his skin. That game against Rotherham is absolutely fantastic. Blackburn away, oh my God. At times we look shaky at the back, but he's the most reassured centre back I've seen at Portman Road in a long, long time. And that's the kind of player you want at the back. That's the kind of player you need when you're down there. And if anyone's got the experience he has, we're talking nearly 15 years of Premier League football for this man. And to come to Ipswich, that's a huge sign for us. Obviously no fee, so the wage is going to be high, but in terms of what he brings to the squad, experience-wise, he's the man that could, potentially take us forward if we can get out of this mess. In terms of what he can bring for the rest of the season, leadership. And obviously we may, you can say that we've lacked that with Chambers this season. Obviously we've had Chambers and Pennington at the back for most of the season, and you can't lie, we've struggled. We really have struggled. And obviously NCR are coming in now and again, and all sorts of players that have come into the back four, Spence. But we need to count on players, and Collins is one of those players that we could really benefit from having. So unbelievable signing. I'm over the moon with him coming in, and I can't wait to see him again. And what about probably the marquee signing in some senses, Alan Judge, coming in from Brentford. We paid off the rest of his contract. We've got him till the end of the season. He's our player. Now, that's brilliant business behind closed doors. To get a winger of Alan Judge's pedigree to come into Ipswich Town, and I say winger, but he's actually a number 10. But to get a player of his pedigree to come into Ipswich at this time, when we're bottom of the league, is just shrewd. It's completely shrewd business, and we've got to take hats off to the guys behind closed doors. And obviously Paul Lambert's pulling strings in the right areas to get these kind of players in. And Judge offers so much, but obviously he's a player that's struggled over the last few years, and all thanks to Luke Hyam. You know, Luke Hyam, one of our own. Luke, you know, broke Alan Judge's legs and probably one of the worst tackles we've seen at Portman Road in a long time, but not in the sense that it was a terrible tackle from Luke Hyam. It was a good challenge, but it was just Alan Judge was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But there, he's struggled to get back from that, and let's look back. He'd sealed a move to the Premier League at the point at which Hyam broke his leg, and that's obviously ruined his career. Now, coming back to Portman Road must be, you know, quite a testing thing for a player in that situation. Now, I admire him for not only one thing, he's facing his demons, but two, he's challenging himself. And, you know, if this club does go back down to League One, Alan Judge may see, yeah, you know, I'm here to the end of the season, I can find another Championship club, but he may ride the storm and actually come down with the club. Potentially Ipswich could stay up, and that could be his club. Now, I'm over the moon. I've seen him at Blackburn. That's the only game I have seen where he played, and to be honest, he's really lively. And I think it's going to take a lot for the squad to gel. Maybe 2 or 3 games. We can't really hang around at this moment in time with regards to getting points on the table. But we've got to understand that teams take time to gel, and Alan has got so much potential and so much skill on the ball, and he's a good attacker. And I think we really could start to see the team gelling come Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. Deadline day signing, right back. Obviously a position of enigma for Ipswich Town. We've had Jordan Spence play there this season, Janoy Danassian play there this season. The only player who's not been given a shout once again is Josh Emanuel. Now, in terms of right back being a weak spot, I can understand. But this poses many questions. Why is Emanuel not being given a chance? Jordan Spence has been dropped and not been seen since, you know, mid-January. Pennington's been given the opportunity to play at right back. But then we've brought in James Bree. Now, where does that leave Pennington? Now, there's been so much talk about Pennington today that his loan will be ended. Obviously, we've just hit 6 loan signings. That means someone's got to miss out from the starting 11. Now, if you do the maths, it's not hard to work out that Elder would be the one to miss out, because left backs, we've got a strong left back in Kenlock. We've got a good position there. But in terms of Pennington playing, I think he might find his chances a bit limited now. Chambers would be preferred at centre back, I would assume, but we can't say that going to Sheffield Wednesday. And let's not forget, Chambers has had his hand in every single defeat we've had this season. Now, potential that he could get dropped this weekend, so that Pennington could start alongside Collins. But you'd like to think that Chambers and Collins are getting on well together, but results don't lie. If you're losing games, then change is what you need. So what are we going to do this weekend? No one knows. But in terms of right backs, James Bree is definitely one pedigree. Came through the Barnsley Academy, who we know, you know, players such as John Stones, and you've got players like Hurahan who've flourished at Barnsley, and they give so many opportunities to young players, and they've just got a plethora of players that have come through in the last, you know, 5 to 10 years. In terms of Bree's performance, he got his move to Aston Villa. I think it's for $3 million about 2 years ago. And James Bree is one of the best English right backs up and coming in the country. Just like Dominic Iorfa, and I think he was a bit found out at Ipswich, but James Bree might give us a bit of depth and an option at right back that we haven't had in a long time, and that's someone who's physically, mentally capable of playing that position. and can actually do something in that position, and we've lacked that seriously badly for a long time. Now right back, I'm over the moon that Lambert's come in and actually got a solid right back. Now we can actually move on. But in terms of what that means for other players, Chambers, Pennington, you know, Kenlock, Elder, Knudsen, those players have all got to fight for their place now. Not that they weren't doing it before, but now more than ever they need to show that they're capable of playing that position. So yeah, we've got 7 signings. January's done. In terms of what we did have and what we haven't got, we've got to look at who's gone out now. In terms of today, Shane McLaughlin has joined AFC Wimbledon, 21 years old. Spent a number of years with the academy, under 23s, made 2 appearances I think for Ipswich Town. Never really got an opportunity, but I think what we need to look at, and especially with players like Pat Webber and Conor McKendry, if you don't make the first team squad by the ages of 18, 19, you know, latest 20, then you are going to be struggling to make any more appearances for Ipswich Town. And I think as, you know, youth developing players, you need to look at other clubs. There's opportunities to get out, and AFC Wimbledon's an absolute brilliant move for Shane McLaughlin. I think it'd be over the moon with that. And yeah, best wishes in terms of him moving on. In terms of one I'm not really sure about, and I'm still questioning it to this day, and I think there's something going on behind closed doors with regards to this one, but Janoy Donasian, I've talked about it before, but I can't get my head around it. We signed the bloke on, you know, primarily a loan deal until January, whilst we were waiting for his work permit to come through. Now, that work permit came through really well. It came through on the 1st of January. Do you think there was a bit of timing behind that? Not sure. Do I think that we were making our mind up about Donasian as a player? Yes. I think we got to January and thought, you know, there's a potential that we could get relegated here. Donasian could be good property in League One. So when it comes to January and we're loaning him out and we loan him back to Accrington Stanley, it leaves a bit of a sting, because not only did we buy the player in the summer for upwards probably nearly £1 million, we're now loaning him back and giving them the benefit of him playing again. Like after and to be honest, he didn't play bad, and what really puzzles me is like he was one of the better players under Paul Hurst at the start of the season. And that's really puzzles me. So if you've got any ideas about why that transfer has come about, or what's going on behind closed door, leave a comment below. Let me know. In terms of the rest of deadline day, I mean, it's just gone 9 o'clock now. In terms of who we could sign, I've heard probably behind closed doors there may be an 8th signing coming into Portman Road tonight. You'd like to think that that's primarily going to be a free agent or a buy. You know, would we actually buy someone? Because we haven't bought anyone in this transfer window really, apart from Judge. But who knows? I don't know any more than you. If there's any players that you thought that we've missed out on, or could have benefited from having, then leave a comment below. Also subscribe. Obviously, it's a massive thing. It's a road to 1k. I need to hit 1k by May. If we could do that together, I'll be over the moon. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you know, make sure you share the videos wherever you can. But don't forget, this channel is about the fans. This is the #1 Ipswich Town fan channel. I'll be at the next 4 games. If you see me, come and have a chat. Honestly, there's nothing I want more than to speak to fans that want to be heard. That's what this is what Ipswich Fanzone is about. So, in the meantime, keep the faith. Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, 3 points, and do you know what? I'm feeling optimistic. Come on, you Blues.